Hi, first graders. So some of you told me yesterday at the pickup that you received a letter back in the mail from Miss Laura, our pen pal. So it's our turn to write to her again. So I would love for you to find this paper in your binder, and we're going to write Miss Laura a letter. Okay, so remember when we write letters, it's always a great idea to start with the date on the top line. So today's date is 11-24-20. Okay, and so notice that I wrote the date on the top line and I kind of started over to the side. The 11 stands for November. It's the 11th month in the year. It's the 24th day in November, and we're in the year 2020. So this is how we write the abbreviated date, 11-24-20. On the next slide, this is where we're going to address it to whoever we're writing the letter to. So we're writing our letters to Dear Miss Laura or Miss Laura. So I'm going to write Dear, and I'm going to use my best handwriting. Space, Miss Laura is her name. So Miss Laura is a proper noun. So I'm going to start it with an uppercase M, space, Laura, uppercase L, and just do your best sounding out. And then I'm going to put a comma. This thing right here is called a comma. It's a type of punctuation that tells us that when we're reading to take just a very brief pause. Okay, so Dear Miss Laura, and then I'm going to start what's called the body of the letter. So Miss Laura wrote you back. I don't know what the letter said, but maybe you can mention something that the letter said. If she told you about her kitty, maybe you can say something about the kitty. Maybe you want to tell her about your animals. I think it would be a great idea for you to tell her maybe what you're doing for Thanksgiving, or if you've been up to something exciting, maybe something exciting has happened in your family you want to tell her about. So you can write to her, or you can write whatever you would like, but I want you to try to write at least 3 sentences. And I know this is going to take some time, so I didn't assign you a lot of work so that you could take your time on your letter, okay? So think about what you want to tell Miss Laura. Here's my idea. I don't want you to write the exact same thing as I'm writing, because then it would be a letter from me and she wants to hear from you. So I'm going to say thank you, and it's a new sentence, even though we have a comma here. The beginning of our body of our letter is the beginning of a sentence. Thank you for the letter. And that's the end of my first sentence. It's a complete thought, so don't forget to end it with punctuation. Start your next sentence with an uppercase letter. I love getting mail. It is fun to get mail. As an adult, we get a lot of bills, but as a kid, it's fun to get letters from our pen pals or just different things in the mail, maybe cards from our grandparents. Here's what it says so far. Dear Miss Laura, thank you for the letter. I love getting mail. And notice that I ended with an exclamation mark because mail, fun mail, makes me excited. Okay, I have 2 sentences. I have to write at least one more thing. And if you can, you could try to fill up the whole page. If that's too tricky, I understand. 3 sentences would be great. You could also ask her a question because she'll write you back again and she'd probably answer the question. I'm going to say it's Thanksgiving time, and so it's a time where we think about the things that we're thankful for. So I'm going to say I am thankful to have a nice pen pal like you. And that's the end of my next sentence. I'm going to put a period there. And I'm going to think of a question to ask her. I'm going to start my next sentence with an uppercase letter. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Is a proper noun. It's the name of a holiday, so I'm going to write it with the uppercase T. And that's a question, so I'm going to remember to end it with a question mark. And then I'm going to put the closing on my letter, so you can sign up by saying from, your friend, love. I'm going to say love, and then a comma, and my name's going to go on this next line. Mrs. McEwen. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread my letter to make sure it makes sense and that I didn't forget anything. Dear Miss Laura, thank you for the letter. I love getting mail. I am thankful to have a nice pen pal like you. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Love, Mrs. McEwen. And then you could always color in your turkey. You can draw a picture for her on the back. Remember when we were Zooming with her at her office, I showed you how she loves to keep all of her friends' letters, and she decorates her office with the nice, pretty pictures that she gets from you guys. So then you're going to fold it, and you're going to find one of the envelopes I gave you that's addressed to Miss Laura. You're going to stick your letter in there, and then you'll have to have your parents help you with the return address, okay? So you'll write your return address, your address up in the corner so Miss Laura knows who to send a letter back to, and then stick this in the mail. And it's Miss Laura's turn to get a letter from you. When she gets this from you, she'll write you a letter again. That's how pen pals work. Okay, friends. Oh, by the way, before I let you go, respond by telling me you did this with either a picture. Actually, yes, respond by sending me a picture of your letter. That would be great. And then I also wanted to tell you that Miss Laura would love to Zoom with us again soon. So you will see her on our Zoom one day soon, okay? All right, friends. Happy writing. Do your best.